What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. More specifically, some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility in the stock price, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, Lucid did have a fairly good week, so that momentum could very much continue. So this week though, of course, it is a shorter week. So Monday is more of a technical driven day. Tuesday, spoiler alert, there's not much in data points, I guess, but Tuesday the market does close at 1 o'clock, so it is a shorter day. Wednesday is closed in lieu of Christmas, so Merry Christmas to all those that celebrate. Thursday and Friday are back to normal, but no real data points, no companies unveiling the earnings, so it is going to be more of a technical driven week. And in Lucid's case, that's actually fairly good. And one thing that did happen on Friday, which was causing some market uncertainty, was a government shutdown. But luckily enough, I believe at 11 p.m. it did get resolved. So that could give the market a nice bump up come Monday. But in my opinion, I don't think that the whole government shutdown did cause much distress to the market in general. So I don't see it being substantial, not like a 10%. You might see maybe a 1% green aspect because of this, but still nothing really crazy. As far as planned events associated to Lucid, still just showcasing the Gravity, nothing really crazy in my opinion. So it is just going to be, like I said, more of a technical driven week. Don't anticipate any fireside chats or any interviews this week, especially with the market relatively closed. The following week, that is where things could get very interesting. But as far as shorts going into this upcoming week, 22.37% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 266.56 million shares overall are being shorted. And then shorts did return about 728,000 shares on Friday, so that was kind of in their best interest to do so because Lucid had a pretty phenomenal day. But cost to borrow average 1.45, utilization is 98.45. So shorts, first thing, as I brought up in my video on Friday, were increasing roughly, I think, around 5 million shares. So they were trying to bring Lucid down on a technical level, and most likely that is going to continue this upcoming week as well. So going over to the actual charts for a second, like you have right here that 100 and 200 day moving average, so at 291 and 297. So essentially you'll see shorts try to bring it down below that. That's going to be most likely their end goal. They won't have enough momentum most likely this week to bring it below where it was. A lot of people are saying that it's going to go back down to 2 and stuff like that. I think right now, Lucid is on a very good momentum tear or rally, and essentially you could see higher highs. Just generally, as I've brought up, anytime it does break above that 50-day moving average and stays there for 2 consecutive trading days, it results in like a 40% green day. So we've already kind of hit that for the most part. The 200-day or the 50-day moving average is at 246, so you kind of have to use that as a benchmark. So there is still a little bit more room to run based on that, but generally, since it did break above that super trend, this is why you have had algorithmic trading really on Lucid's side. And even just zooming out, like, it's a nice change of events. Like, it hasn't been that case for a very long time. Usually the algos are against Lucid. So this upcoming week, which again, for now the third time, is more of a technical driven week, Lucid could definitely move higher. But I'm going to go over some of the resistance and stuff like that, and whatever else, the fib levels. But as far as shorts goes, they might try to bring it down and kind of double down. So we'll just have to wait and see how that does all play out. Hopefully Lucid does have some other stuff planned. As I've shared with you, I don't really like how this website isn't like exclusive. It doesn't show everything. Like, they like to just do whatever and then just post on social media, not really disclose what they're actually on their website. But hopefully they do improve that. Lucid has making clearly big notable differences in their marketing lately, so I think it's just maybe a matter of time before they revamp their website. But Aside from that, options is implying that you'll see roughly around a $3 to $3.50 kind of target for next week. This is the open interest. So you do have 8,000 at that 2, 15,000 at that 250, and then 34,000 at that 3. So works out to be around 5.5 million shares. That's what is going to be needing to be covered and by market makers. There's different ways that they could rectify that. They could just usually buy a put to kind of counter that for the most part, but most don't have a lot of volatile stocks such as Lucid readily available. So that does mean that you might see a bump up in the stock price, potentially even causing a gamma squeeze. So gamma squeeze is where market makers are buying the underlying stock to cover call options. So in the money call options. And so it kind of worked out, the fact that Lucid did close above that $3 strike price. So again, that's where the stock price will go up as they cover. And then in theory, usually shorts like a gamma squeeze couldn't lead to a short squeeze, because then shorts just might get pinched. But by 5 million shares, I don't see shorts kind of doing all that much because of that, if that makes sense. But you have seen more and more interest coming from big money on the secondary market above $100,000. So it's kind of a good thing, the fact that Lucid is getting this level of support. But like I said, I think in general, Lucid's kind of moving largely based off of its technicals, because they haven't really put that much out in news. There's a lot of things on social media, a lot of speculative kind of topics, but no actual news itself. So last news came out December the 9th. It was a fireside chat. Then at the same time, Peter did a interview that wasn't disclosed, but still no SEC filings as well. So no recent selling or anything like that. There has been a lot of selling across the broader market, as blackout periods is at the end of December. So I think a lot of people are just taking advantage of the higher prices, selling out, a lot of insiders. So it's good to see Lucid isn't selling any of them. All of these Form 4s were associated to taxes, and that's basically it. But going into this upcoming week, with it closing at 302, looking at the classic, it is trading between this R3 and this R2. So 298 is going to be that next strong support. So at the same time, I believe that is that 200-day moving average. So shorts, that's going to be their target. They'll want to break that probably early on Monday. So that's going to be their goal. And then if so, then it'll trade between these 2 points. So just take note of some of the strong support and resistance points. So 298, 278, and 252 in case there is more of a pullback. Typically, every time a stock does go up around 15%, even in Lucid's case, there is some like profit taking, some consolidation that does happen, but generally it's short-lived, gets bought up very fast, and having algos on Lucid's side as well could really just magnify the buying the dip kind of scenario. But 344 is going to be that next strong target. So very wide gap, but then again, that's also because Lucid has gone up very fast in a short time period. So it's good to see Lucid doing something. This is pretty much the one time I've been very bullish on Lucid in a very long time. And yeah, hopefully it does continue. Of course, we can kind of look back at previous data just to give us a good indication of support and resistance points. So in theory, it could run up to roughly that point right there, so that 340 range. And if so, then this is where it could continue its run, similar to what it kind of left off in October, without that news of dilution, regrettably. But yeah, I think Lucid is making a lot of progress. I haven't seen any sales though. That's maybe a positive thing I wanted to kind of share with you, is you see a lot of entities out there doing last minute sales just to obviously get more numbers in for Q4. I haven't seen that actually happen with Lucid, so that goes to show how I interpret it is that there's sufficient amount of demand now. So maybe something to kind of consider, but again, we'll just have to wait and see based on the numbers that Lucid gives us from Q4. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Where do you see things going? Do you think that there's going to be a pullback? Do you think it's going to go back down to the 2s? Or do you think it's going to break higher to roughly the 3s and then possibly 4s? Again, a lot of people are speculating that Lucid is going to have a squeeze. I like to be somewhat realistic. Squeeze would be fun, but you need a catalyst. No stock ever squeezes based off of just speculation. If a stock runs up maybe like 200%, then yeah, you'll see just shorts just saying F it and I'm out. But typically in Lucid's case, I think you would need a good catalyst, a surprise aspect, whether it be an acquisition, partnership, or just better than anticipated results coming out. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing weekend thus far. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I'm giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers, so pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.